What's going on? It's your boy Nick. We live and back, and we on the block once again. And of course, I got my two favorite people back by popular demand, request. You got them, they here, and hey, it's gonna be another epic episode. And we just gonna get the block hot. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening, man? What's
What up?
good? Big E, what's good, baby?
What up? What up? What up, Ricko?
Yes, sir. Good to see you again as always. Nick, it's all love, man. How you holding up?
Man, good man. Good man. You know, everything is always everything.
Yes, sir.
Yo, but our last episode, people was going crazy. People love you guys, man. They can't get enough of y'all, man.
That's good, man.
I'm telling you. But we just gonna jump right into a lot of things. But of course, before we get into the topic of the day, I gotta get your opinion on something.
Boy.
Can y'all guys help me out real quick? So of course, I'm looking through, social media, and I come upon this story. This guy, he's married. He's been married for 4 years, been with his wife, total of 8 years. They have 2 kids. They call them Irish twins, where they back to back. One is the age of 1, which is the girl. The boy is 2. So the wife is a stay-at-home wife, and he basically goes out, he's a breadwinner, working the long hours or whatever the case may be, right? So she comes to him and says, you know what? I'm wore out, man. The kids are wearing me out. I need a break. I want to take a 7-week vacation. He says, wait. Can you at least reduce the time? And what do you want to do in 7 weeks? She says, well, I want to go out, visit some cities and visit my old high school, then come back home. So they kind of, talk about it, right? And the time comes and she goes and she leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
First week, the man is going crazy. He's trying to handle, work. He's trying to handle the 2 kids and everything. He's barely making it, right? He gets a phone call from his sister. His sister is like, you all right? How you doing? He breaks down like, I can't take it, man. He starts crying. So his sister helps him out right at the house. And she didn't leave. She just stayed, right? So fast forward. 7 weeks are over. The wife comes home, right? The husband says, I got to be honest with you. I don't love you anymore. And I want a divorce. In this situation, is the man wrong? Ricko, it's on you.
So clearly you have to be leaving something out because he's the breadwinner. The wife stays at home with the kids. They chose to have these kids, right? And she takes a 7-week vacation, which is a little interesting because you said that one of the places that she wanted to visit was her old high school. That ain't normally on the list of places to visit when you say you going on a vacation. I ain't heard nobody say, oh yeah, man, I want to go to, I want to go to Paris, but on the way to Paris, let me stop by and check out my high school just to see what it looked like. Why? You know what I'm saying? Then he can't handle the kids, and that's a little bit understood because he's not at home with them. So by the time when he leaves the kids asleep, by the time he come home, the kids are probably asleep. And then on the weekends, he plays around with him, yada, yada, yada. But the whole thing about him saying that he don't love her anymore, and you said that he said he wants a divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he don't love her no more. So
He
my
said he fell
question
out of
is,
love.
you fell out of love. Why? Because she was gone, or because you couldn't handle the responsibilities of raising your kids? So that's my question. So is he wrong? I'm not going to say that he's wrong, but I'm not going to say that he's right neither, because it kind of seems like to me that he's looking for an easy out. Because remember, if he says, okay, well, now I'm leaving you, yeah, you're the breadwinner, but now you leaving this woman with 2 kids, what are the kids going to go? Are they staying with you, or are they going with her? Because then when they go with the mother, then now we talking child support, right? But then the mother's going to have to basically start over with nothing and 2 kids, because if you're the breadwinner, everything is dependent upon you. So I think he's taking a cowardly approach on that one, if you ask me. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
What you think, man?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on most of that. I have questions as well because, you know, if you were in love with her for 8 years, it only took you 7 weeks to fall out of love with her. Like, what happened? Like, did you
Right.
find somebody else? I mean, that seems awfully quick. Now, I will say that, and hear me out. Keeping children is a full-time job. So I look at it as if both of them working full-time. It really depends on who looking out for him after he get off work. If when he come home, she drops everything, then, but obviously it don't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it since he was, going crazy. So it sounds like, she was doing all that, but 7 weeks seems a bit long for me. Even on the regular job, you don't get 7 weeks when you coming in. I mean, after 8 years, you still don't get 7 weeks vacation. That's a long time, but I get it. You need a break. But yeah, I'm like you. It's kind of, you're taking the cowardly way out, man, because being with this girl for that long, and now 7 weeks, and she won't there, and it's over. Unless there's some foul play, then I just have questions. But to your point,
Yeah.
Ricko, they've been together 8 years. Now I don't know when their relationship started, but unless it started when they were about 12, and she was about 20, 21, why are you going back to your high school again? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're 28 or 30 and you're going back to your high school, I really got questions. Now, if y'all got together when y'all were 10, if y'all got together when y'all were like 10, and then got married when you were like 14, and then now you're 18, I get it. But come on, man. Who's going back to their old high school unless you live with
Yeah.
somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? But yeah, that's how I feel. Man. Yeah, that seems a little foul. He living foul, man, somewhere.
Yeah. Because I'm all for when you go home swinging by the high school or whatever. Like if you go during football season, going to check out a football game, because you'll run into some of your old classmates.
For sure.
But bro, when you put it out there and you're planning for a vacation, me going to my old high school is not even in the top 1 million things to do when you're talking about planning a vacation. So that part right there, man.
And then, honestly,
Okay.
7-week vacation, where are you staying? Because now we're talking about additional expenses. Not only you gonna leave, but now are you getting hotels every night, or are you staying with somebody? If so, who you staying with? Your old high school sweetheart? Like, I mean, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
So
like, where you
here's
staying?
a question. Sorry to cut you off, but here's a question. You just asked a great question, and hopefully the viewers can answer this for me. You said, is she staying in a hotel, right? So I think the bigger question is she staying in a hotel, or is she the hotel?
I mean,
It's a little bit it's a little bit deep, right? And I say that because when you look at from my opinion, when you look at the whole situation, and you look at how long they've been together, both of them, right? You expect, okay, she's a new mother, she needs a break. What, I don't know, what mother wants to be away from her kids for 7 weeks?
True.
What mother wants
that's a long damn time,
that's
dog.
a long time.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's a long time. I haven't met any mom, any any good mother that wants to be away from her kids for 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's gone for more than 24 hours, I know you guys experienced it. Man, you can't even go on a date, man. Hey, call home. Is what's
Right.
face all right? Hey.
Right.
You're like,
Exactly.
damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
ain't even left the driveway
We
yet.
ain't even left the
Right. Exactly.
driveway yet.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it's something fishy going on.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes he probably felt, okay, let me let her do what she need to do, because of course we understand it's a hard job, man. It's a
Yes.
hard job, and everybody needs a break. But 7 weeks is a long
That
time.
is a long time, dog.
And in
For
seven
real.
weeks, 7 weeks, things happen, man. Things happen. So I can see him when he say I fell out of love with you. I don't necessarily think he means I don't love you anymore. I think he means basically I don't want to be with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Yep.
I love you.
The classic, it's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. I basically held it down, for this long without you.
Mm-hmm.
So now I kind of want to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
But I don't know. But viewers want to know your opinion. Let us know. Chime in. I'm interested. I know you guys are interested to hear the feedback on what you guys think. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into our main topic for the day. All right. So 1, 2, 3 of us, Black men who love our community, volunteer, and we also understand the importance of giving back to the youth.
Mm-hmm.
We want to kind of talk. We're going to kind of talk through our drive and our passion for helping our youth navigate life, and some of the trials and tribulations that they may be going through, and share our opinions and thoughts, and give them some of that tough love and that leadership that they may not be having. So with that, I want to start with UE. Tell me, from the things that you've done in your community with the Black youth, or youth in all, right? What are some of the challenges that you face, and how do you deal with some of the situations that come your way?
Sure. So most of my giving back has been through coaching and mentoring that way. I've coached basketball, football. I was on the AAU circuit for a little while, and everything. And I coached Pop Warner, I coached Rick, things like that. And for me, kids are kids. I look at it as if once you get them as a youth, they usually the only influence they have a lot of it's going to be their environment. So a lot of that comes from their parents, and unfortunately, we still have some parents. We have some great parents. Let me get that out of the way first. So we do. There are some great parents. I mean, not just two-parent households. There's some great single moms, some great single dads. They go all out and they understand, what the issues are, and they try to, make the kids better. But then, you do have that element of parents that don't get it. They feel like their son is going to the NFL or the NBA. Like, I mean, everybody in their family is like 5'2", but somehow their son's gonna be 6'10", and they put a lot of pressure on the kid, and you can tell, after you've been around with kids for years, years and years and years, you notice their ethics or whatever as far as the sport, and you got two basic elements: skill and will. Now, some kids are just naturally gifted. I mean, I've coached kids that, I mean, they are fast as anybody in their age. They can jump out the gym. Like, they're just phenomenal athletes. Like, you're like, wow, am I really seeing this? This is amazing. Then there's some kids, they're not that good physically, but they have the will to overcome any obstacle. And, you can put that player in there and know exactly what you're going to get. And they're going to be tough and they're going to do
Yeah.
exactly what you say. And when you can find a kid that has that combination, now that's when you really have something special. But I think the parents have a lot to do with what's going on, and there are some coaches that have the wrong ideas about things as well. They're ready to cheat. May have I got out of AAU basketball because I feel like I kept going to tournaments and the players that were on other teams were just ineligible. I'll give you an example. Went to a tournament in Memphis, AAU tournament in Memphis. Went all the way down there. The first game we played, we were going to play. We were on the bleachers waiting to play, and it was a guy there. He was kind of tall. He was talking to my players, and he was like, "Yeah, y'all playing my little brother, and all that." He was actually in college at the time playing basketball. Well, when it's time to suit up, I look in the layup line, and this guy's in the layup line. I'm like, okay, well maybe he's showing them how to do some fancy layups, Well, at the tip off, man, this guy is in the game, and his jersey didn't even match everybody else's jersey. Number one, if you're going to cheat, please try to do it a good job. If you're going to cheat, this guy's jersey wasn't even it was like a different color or something. I mean, this guy was throwing alley oops from the other side of the court to this guy. He was dunking on everybody on my team. And the only reason why in AAU, you just got a birth certificate and a report card. This guy he had to been like 21. I think it was like 21. My team was like a 17U team. So this guy's in there just dunking over all these people, just dunking over my guys. It was just crazy. And, you got to ask yourself, like, I mean, what are you getting out of that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The coach was honest, though. So when challenged, the coach said, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be on my team. But, he wasn't on the roster. He wasn't included on the roster. He put him under there somebody else's name, but he came clean and said, no, he actually wasn't on the roster. But my question is, the guy's 21. And you got him out here. Is the tournament that serious? Like, you're a 21-year-old playing against 17-year-olds, and, I mean, you're not that good then, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Playing basketball. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think you can root that out of AAU. Maybe they need some kind of picture, and it has to be because it's really easy to start an AAU organization. I've had people ask my team for players that looked younger, knowing that they were a couple years older than where they were going to be competing. And I was like, nah, man, like you go in there and you take your licks, man. That's what you do, and you just go from there.
So how do you influence or talk to your staff
Players.
or players to ensure that, hey, letting them know like this is not the way to go, and all of that.
Right. Well, life lessons, man. I when things like that happen, I take a moment and I pull them aside and say, see, that's why you don't do things like that. And I give them real life examples on if you use that same type of behavior in the real world, what the result will be. Likely, when you're just cheating like that, or you're stealing, because really you're stealing the dreams of other kids. I mean, when you actually start stealing stuff in real life, you get a charge, you get a record. Once you get a record, it's pretty much over for you if you look like me. If you get a felony or something like that, it's going to be hard to work indoors anymore. And you're not going to have the earning potential that you would if that didn't happen. And that's life changing, life altering, those type of things. But I try to pull them aside and have a conversation with them on their level. Now, their level may be different than, some nice conversation that sounds sweet. It might get ugly. And by ugly, I mean, might be a few cuss words in there, because that may be the only thing they understand. And it's not a matter of disrespect. It's a matter of a lot of our youth today, they don't talk like we do or like we did coming up. They talk differently. And you have to meet them at their level respectfully, because you got to teach them respect. So you want to be respectful with them, but make sure they understand in a language that they're used to and they're accustomed to.
Okay.
Yeah, you speaking truth to that, E. That's real, man. That boy, you speaking all the truth on that one, straight up.
So what's your thoughts on it, Ricko?
Well, I mean, like my thing is a little different, man, because like E is taking it from a sports world. Mine right now is more so dealing on an academic level. You know what I'm saying? And it is trying to get these kids to understand today, man, that like I say to a lot of mine every day. First, it was in 2025 when the school year started. So now it done moved over to 2026. And that thing would be, I guess it's not cool to be smart in 2026 anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because see, man, like, you know, we really like we are considered the unks and the OGs right now, right? And remember when we was coming up, the name of the game was you want to be better than what you came from. You know what I'm saying? You striving for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, but now it seems like with the young ones today, man, it seems like that it done got reversed. We don't want to strive to be something great because we are afraid of how it's going to look by our so-called homeboys and homegirls, right? So we would much rather all of us be in the same predicament that we are in, instead of trying to strive to get out of that predicament and be 100 times better than what we were yesterday. Because we worried about somebody calling us a lame, or, you know what I'm saying, or making fun of us and whatnot. You know, and then too, the other thing is, man, what I tell a lot of mine is that what I'm finding so hard for them to understand is that they do not know how to control their emotions. So I say to mine a lot, hey, you are in the emotional vehicle. Do you want to be the driver or the passenger in that emotional vehicle? Because I say, you guys are going to sit here, man, and when you make a decision out of emotion, it's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry, right? When you walk inside that grocery store, you grabbing any and everything. Why do you need marshmallows and brown sugar? Right? Because you hungry, you just trying to grab, you thinking of every recipe you can think of. And I'm trying to get them to understand that, man. It's like y'all are at a peak time now in your life where you don't even understand what's in front of you, what's coming. Life ain't even hit you with the curveball yet. And so, you know, man, and you know, to E's point, like, you know, you talk about the parents. You know, I'm grateful, and I tell my parents this, I'm grateful for those that are involved, right? But also at the same time, it's a 50-50 split, because you see those that are involved, but then you're also dealing more with the ones who aren't involved. And so now when you talk to their child or their, you know, their loved one, now it's like you're trying to spit game on them. And I've had some of them come back to me and say, you're the only person that done talk to me like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, dang, man, you know, like I'm trying to get you to understand, because I tell mine all the time, I'm not holier than thou. I done did stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I tell them that I'm not holier than thou. And to your point, like what you're saying is, you got to be able to communicate to these young kids on their level. And I tell them that. But also I tell them, you got to start using your mind for yourself. Stop worrying about what's to the left and to the right. Look, stay focused, and, you know, think about what's in front of you and how you trying to get there. So yeah, man. So I take my hat off to you, E, because it's tough. And Nick, I know you about to speak too, but hey, I respect, much love and respect to both of y'all, man, because you know, when you're pouring back into the community, when you dealing with somebody else's child, it is so much that comes along with that. So I definitely, you know what I'm saying, it's always respect and love to what y'all doing on that, man, and to everybody that's watching and listening as well.
Right. Respect you too, Ricko.
Man.
Yeah.
The academic part.
Appreciate it.
That's the piece that is so important, man. That can get you out of your situation if your situation's not good.
Yes,
like
Lord.
said, man,
yes.
I mean, coming up, I dealt with a little of what you're talking about. But what I learned over the years was, although those people now may call you a lame or whatever, they won't never tell you until you're older, but they really respect your opinions about things.
Say it.
Because they
Say
kind of
it
wish
again,
they were
bro.
like, they respect your opinions. They kind of wish they were like you, but it's not cool
Yes,
to be
Lord.
like you in a way. So I feel like if you
Mm-hmm.
can master the academic part and then also still remain friends, but know your limitations. Like you said, I like your example about that emotional vehicle. Know, be the driver
Mm-hmm.
in that, man. You're unstoppable, man.
Yes,
Yes.
Lord. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Excuse me, you guys made some good points, and just coming from my lens and what I did or continue to do with the community. I coached as well, really for a very long time, all ages, all sports, and what I've come to realize is that, and what you guys probably already know is the best teacher sometimes can be sports, right? Because sports allows a lot of people to go through adversity and overcoming obstacles and just understanding how to work hard,
Yes.
right? So I've been able to inspire and be a positive impact in that way in a lot of their lives, because I always let them know, hey, look, there's going to be times where you want to give up. There's going to
Mm-hmm.
be times where you can't go on. But the benefit of you just trying, you know what I'm saying? You may not be the best, but your best may be better than the more skilled player, because they're not even putting forth the amount of effort that you're putting forth, right? So just trying to relate to the youth, and it's been challenging at times, because they're not used to someone coming up to them and really caring about them, or
Right.
they're not used to someone coming up to them and being real with them, talking to them and having a real conversation with them and saying, look, yo, nah, you full of it, man, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Or
Yeah.
just they never heard no, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a spectrum, right? You have people who come from one side of town and you have people from the other side of town. But at the end of the day, really they all have the same issues somewhat when it comes to how you build in their character. So
Right.
it's always been a pleasure trying to help them, navigate, because I can't speak for you guys. I wish I had like mentors from a young age through my entire life, to help me navigate certain situations. And because a lot of stuff I learned on the fly, right? I learned, hey, you can't do this. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But now, because I learned, I don't want anyone to go through the same problem that I went
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
And so I feel it's important to always give back to the youth and help them
Mm-hmm.
understand, like E was saying, education. And don't let E fool you, man. That dude's smart, man.
For sure.
Hey,
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
he
okay,
we
man.
know that.
I mean, I'm okay, man. But that's about it. So I just, hey,
he
like
said
my
he
grandma,
okay.
my grandmother always told me, you don't have to finish at the top. You sure ain't gonna finish last. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes,
try to stay
Lord.
around the pack,
Yes,
man.
Lord.
Try to stay
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's
Mm-hmm.
you know what
Mm-hmm.
that's what's really about, man, because somebody told me in the military, right? It's not hard to be great, because 95% of people don't want to be great,
Mm-hmm.
right? All you got to
Mm-hmm.
do is give 80 to 90% effort and you're going to be in that realm.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, makes sense. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. So that's kind of where I've always kind of navigated myself to being somewhere around there. Like you say, you ain't got to be number one, but being around the pack is where you want to kind of stay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my follow up question is situations, right? What is the most challenging situation that you've encountered? Meaning, you have some kids. I know you got a broad spectrum. Coming in, some may like come from communities where parents don't have enough money to get cleats, or we see them not maybe having certain things and getting picked on, bullied, or etc. Rico, you may see the same thing being
Yeah. Yeah.
in this your line of work as well.
Hmm.
Um, so how do you deal with that? I want to talk about emotionally because I know it got to tug at your heartstrings when you see stuff like that. And then how do you, kind of put forth what you need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to help that person.
Well, for me, man, because I do see it. I do see that a lot, every day. And again, what I do, man, I try to get the kids to understand that you can rise, even though it looks like you can't right now, you can rise above the situation that you're in, right? Because I'm constantly trying to get them to understand, man, that like you are in control of your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Yes, all of our stories have already been written, right? But still, we are in control of our destiny. Whatever decision we make, that's why it's called free will, right? And I tell them, I'm like, look, man, if don't nobody else out there tell you that they appreciate you, that they love you, it's coming from me. Now, I ride you like I do. I'm on you because you got to understand that, yeah, it may seem like it's tough in the situation that you're in right now, but the world is a whole lot tougher. And this world that we live in, although it's beautiful, when you step outside, it's really got some ugly parts to it. And it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying, if you got one sock on, one shoe on, you got to come to school. But this world don't care nothing about that. So, you got to find a way, man, to continue, to just push forward. Now, I'm not telling you to just say, screw it, don't, you know what I'm saying, yada, yada. You're going to have your breakdowns. We all do. We all gonna have our breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? But I just continue to try to pour into them every day, man. Because when I first started, one of my coworkers told me they was like, they gonna give you their ass to kiss when I first started, because they didn't know me. You know what I'm saying? But I told them, I said, look, before the end of the year is over with, you are going to love me, because you're going to see I'm not I'm not holier than thou. I was once you, but I do care. You know what I'm saying? It does tug at your heart, man, because when you start seeing some of these stories and whatnot, man, or you start talking and you start seeing what's going on with some of them, man, you're surprised by some of the things that you're hearing. Do a really good job of masking what's really going on.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? But
True.
I just let them know I'm gonna treat you the same way every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm quick to stop anybody that come to my area and want to start trying to be like, you trying to, I don't really want to call it bullying, but you trying to, crack on somebody because they shirt may be dirty or something like that. I tell them straight up, man, shut up. Because we ain't doing that here. You know what I'm saying? We are not doing that here. So it's tough, man. But I continue to just try to pour into them every day. You know what I'm saying? To just let them know, you got to talk to me. Keep it 100 with me, man. And I'm not going to put your business out there in the street. I'm going to tell you from what it is from my point of view. And, we just go with it from there.
What about you, E?
Well, I'll tell you, for me, one of the things that I try to do with my kids is I always tell them, no matter what happens, just tell me the truth. Like, I'll deal with it from there,
Yes.
but at least let me have all the information so, you know, either I can support you, I can, redirect you where you need to go, but just tell me the truth. No matter how bad it is, if you tell me all of it and the truth, we'll see if we can work it out. But if you start lying to me, because I want to build a trust with them and I want to teach them that, in life, man, you just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are going to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
just be honest. But I've seen, kids from all types of backgrounds and all types of situations. Coach, like, people that gang infested areas, and they're one of the main participants. But sometimes, man, that practice that you have for 2 hours is their chance to get away, man. It's like a vacation for them mentally and physically.
Yes, Lord.
And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a way to kind of get them to get a new set of friends. And I tell people like this, hey, why you on this team? This is your game. And by gang, I mean your family. And we're gonna look out for each other. We're gonna look out for each other on the field, on the court, wherever we're going. But we must stay together, okay? And we're gonna do what's right. And that's kind of how I try to focus with my kids and try to build that trust and relationships. Because I show them, when you do come to me with something that you think is really, really bad, I'm gonna sit there, because I try to treat the kids on my team like as if they were my children. What would I do?
Mm-hmm.
And, as the older I get, the more I realize that the parents are, they're the age where they could be my children. So the kids could be almost my grandchildren. So, it's like realizing that and understanding that when I'm having a conversation with them, it's not somebody that has my same life experience most of the time. It's somebody with a little less. So they're still learning as well. So understanding that aspect of it, but giving them a forum and a place where they can feel comfortable to come talk to you. And for, like I keep saying, academics is important. We get some kids that they have issues in school. But we'll take time to actually help them with their work, or help, get them tutors that'll help. And I found even their peers sometimes are the best resources to help them. Once they make friends, man, some of these kids are very smart, and for them to actually, and that's how you get rid of the lame title. You're actually helping the superstar player, because y'all friends on the field. You helping him with his math and things like that. And that's how you change the narrative, and they start bonding right there, and they start seeing the importance. Oh man, because you can't play ball. I mean, I guess there are places sometimes you can, but it's really hard to play ball unless you're an ultimate superstar and your grades are bad. Now they'll find a way around it sometimes if your grades are bad. You're in that top 1%, but most of the time, that's pretty much where the buck stops. I just try to make sure they're comfortable and understand the importance of education, family, all those things. Those are the values that we bring. Football and basketball are important, but there are things that are more important, such as school, stuff like that. So I make sure they understand the pecking order of the priorities.
Okay. I feel you. All right. We're gonna move on. We're gonna wrap it up here. But of course, before I wrap it up, I got another question for you guys.
Oh man.
Another scenario.
Dude, you really need to unplug from social media
man?
for exactly, man. What has flooded your algorithm, bro?
Man, I'm telling you, man, when I be looking at this stuff, I just be like, I need to know somebody's opinion on this.
No, you don't. You really
I need to know. This one right here, though.
Okay.
This one right here. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, here we go. All right, we all married, beautiful wives, and we all have girls, right?
Daughters. Thank you. Because we're married, but we got girls. But boy.
Oh
yeah,
okay,
man,
yeah. You're right. You are 100% right. That was a good save right there.
I was thinking, good save. I don't have one. Is this something they have?
Hey, remember what he said last week? He went from happy to serial cheating.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good save right there. Yeah. Let me clarify to the missus. Daughters, right? We all have daughters. Okay, so I want you to put yourself in this situation. Your daughter is 9 years old. Your wife comes home. Well, your wife goes to pick up your daughter from school. She comes out to school and she's holding a teddy bear, right? Your wife is like, that's strange. So she asks the daughter, where you get the bear from? And she's like, a janitor gave it to me.
All right, I think we need to go and stop this scenario right now. No, it ain't nothing else you need to say. It ain't nothing else that need to be said. Nothing else needs to be said. The damn people already know.
Let me finish for the people, man. All right. She brings the bear out. The mom was like, yo, where you get the beer from? She's like, a janitor gave it to me. So, the mom asked, okay, so why is he giving you a beer? She responds and says, well, he gives me a beer because he sees me walking down the hall, and every time I look sad, he want to give me a beer, and he gives me a hug, right? Not a side hug, a front to front hug, right? So she comes back and she's like, okay, the mom, your wife, she calls her mom like, yo, am I tripping or should I be concerned? Women is like, yo, you definitely got to be concerned.
She calls who?
Her mother. So,
Okay.
you following?
Well, I'm following, but I don't think that
Okay.
my wife is following. But okay, I'm following. Go
Okay.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so her mom, your wife's mom, says definitely you need to be concerned, right? You need to be concerned. She's like, okay, I thought I was tripping. All right. She comes home. Your wife comes home and tells you what just happened. What is your response? Ricko, you got to go because
Yes.
you've been itching.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. First things first. With my wife, no, she ain't, you know what I'm saying? And God bless the dead. My mother-in-law is no longer here with us. But if my mother-in-law was alive, my wife ain't even wasting time by picking up the phone and calling her mother, right? Because as soon as our daughter says, hey, I got this from the janitor, I got this from Stan, the janitor, right? And Stan always be hugging me every day. If my wife don't get to Stan first, I am. I don't need to talk to my mama, her mama, or nobody else's mama, right? Me and Stan is the only one that's going to talk. And the conversation ain't going to go that long because I might, you know what I'm saying? The conversation may go, which one is Stan? In the green coveralls, smelling like pine saw? Bet. That's how the conversation going to go, right? We don't need to have no conversation. See, that's what I'm saying. As soon as you said the janitor gave my daughter a teddy bear, boy, it's a word I really want to say on here, but I might, but I'm just, E, you might want to go ahead and take this one on a Sunday, dog, because I'm trying to get to heaven. Go ahead, E.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. First off, my wife would have been puzzled. I don't think she would have. Well, rest in peace, my mother-in-law. She passed or whatever, but I don't think she would call her mom before she called me. Because she already know what's gonna happen. She called me. Like if she called me, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm stopping. But if she were, I'll tell you, if my mother-in-law was here and she had called my mother-in-law and said that my mother-in-law was a sweet lady, God fearing everything. But if she had called and told her about that teddy bear, she would have, before she hung the phone up, her mama would have been in the parking lot and she stayed an hour away.
Exactly.
She would already be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they called me, we would have been there. And that janitor, he was gonna get jumped, man. I'm going to tell you, my mother-in-law would have got
for
some.
Sure.
Like all us getting some of that. Like I don't care why I gave her the teddy bear. I don't care what happened. It's a wrap. Like I'm talking like they're gonna need a new janitor next week. I can't go to that school no more.
I'm trying to tell you,
it's a wrap. Like it's over for him. We gonna get him some teddy bears and some flowers and all that type of stuff.
And all that shit gonna say get well soon. That's what it's gonna say.
Hey, you don't care where you at. You come to the spot.
Man, I don't care if I'm in another state, man. I'm taking an emergency flight right then. I'm coming in. I got to have him. I don't care if the school is closed when I get there. I'm gonna spend the night in the parking lot because I got to see when that janitor coming in, man. We're not having that, man. Nah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know what I'm saying. He up to no good, man. Nah, man. Ain't no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, my mother-in-law, she would have beat me there. It's a wrap for him.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you, my wife would have called me, but she would have called me after she done put hands on him and be like, let me tell you what happened today. And then I'm coming up there like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no, let me call somebody up. Let me go ahead and handle this. And then I'm gonna call. You know what I'm saying? And then knowing my wife, she probably would have put me on FaceTime watching me put hands on her. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Me watching her put hands on him. I mean, you get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like, definitely.
Man, please.
That's a wrap.
So let me tell you what the husband said when the wife told him. You're not gonna believe it, man.
I can already. I only okay,
He said that she was overreacting.
boy. Okay, but there it is.
That's crazy, right?
And she was single the next day, wasn't she?
It ended right there. It ended right there, right?
I'm sure it did.
It
That's
ended right
crazy.
there because you see why
Yeah, he
I
he
have to
didn't want that
have
smoke, man.
these questions
Hey,
because it's
so
like,
AE, this now would make sense. This is all tied to the first scenario.
That's what I'm about to
That's
say,
why
man.
she went back to the high school.
Right,
That's why.
right. That's her old, and you know what? That's her real daddy. The janitor, the girl,
Yes,
real
sir.
daddy.
Yes,
That's what it
that's
is,
why she
man.
went back to the high school. That's why.
Yeah, that's
She
it.
was like, I remember Trey my senior year, and I know that Trey still stay in the area. So I'm gonna just go down here for 7 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, please.
man, that's wild, man.
Mm-mm.
That's wild.
No, sir.
Yo, I couldn't believe it, man. That's why I got to make sure that I'm not crazy,
No,
right?
you not.
Nah, you're not crazy.
Okay,
No, you
that's
not.
that's why I got to ask
It's
these
this
questions,
world that
man.
we live in that's crazy, but not at all. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Short session today. We was clean and effective in getting our points across.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're gonna end it right here for the people. I want to send a shout out to everybody that left comments.
Yes,
Before we
appreciate
go real
those.
Sure,
quick,
thank y'all, man.
do you have any comments that stood out to you guys? I know maybe what's his name? Jenkins.
Jake, where you at, boy?
Yeah, Jenkins. Want to send a shout out to him.
Yeah, yeah,
And you know, keep leaving them comments. You never know, you might get
yes,
invited on the show, man,
yes, yes.
to defend your point of view. Cause
Mm-hmm.
hey, we're gonna give you a chance to talk. You might not come out unscathed, but you
Yeah,
know what I
sure.
mean? You're gonna come up here and have a good time because you on
Yeah,
the block. You on the block.
yeah, for
Hey, but
sure.
before we go real quick, as always, let the viewers know what you got going on.
Go ahead, E.
Yeah, well, we Cap City Steelers, man. Cap City, Clap City. You know, we got workouts on Sundays 4 to 6 at Fox Road. You know, for those of you who are local to Raleigh, North Carolina, or anywhere in the Triangle area, come through, get that free work. Um, right now, that's really my main focus, other than a little 7-on-7 action. We start our season next weekend. But yeah, just bring the kids out, man. We do more than football. We've been bringing back former NFL players to talk to kids about where they were at their age, and kind of how their outlook was, and maybe they weren't even expecting to go anywhere or do anything, and all of a sudden, hey, they get a scholarship and they make it to the league for 6 or 7 years, man. You can't beat that. So just
Yes, sir.
just trying to keep mentoring these kids, man. That's all. Thanks, Nick, and thanks,
Mm-hmm.
Ricko.
Hey, man, you're gonna have a great year too, bro. For real, man. So definitely make sure you keep us posted on that, dog. For real. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. As for me, man, like I told y'all last week, man, we still getting, working some things out. My schedule is crazy, but definitely getting that itch back, man, for 7-7 Talk and 7-7 Talk Sports. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put some things out. Got the upcoming football season coming up. We have NCAA football 2-7. And for those of you who remember, Nick still owes me a game on from NCAA football 2-5. But we'll let him have that. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely gonna have to get E on the sticks because E is still holding on to the Tecmo Bowl championship. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah. It's kind of
but
dusty, but I
yeah, man,
still
that's what
got
I
it.
got, man. I feel you. I feel you. What you got, Nick?
Hey, as always, first of all, I want to thank the fans. Yo, leave comments, help us build and grow. And here's what I got going on. It starts with me, right? ISWM 360 degrees. Got a lot going on. Clothing brands. Yo, is coming. Matter of fact, we got the supplements. It's out there, right? So, hey, just continue to look out for everything we got going on. Hey, we're gonna continue to grow and build, and big things happen when we come together. So, hey, stay tuned because this is just the beginning. Trust me. But hey, on that note, hey, we got the block hot, and I appreciate you guys always
Love
give
to
me that
y'all, fellas. Always,
give
baby.
that
Y'all know
sound opinion and sound advice
Yes, sir.
on my mind, because it's always wandering like when I see this social media crap, and you guys help me refocus,
that. Yeah.
man. So hey, with that,
Shout
hey,
out to the mama that kicked Stan the janitor's ass over the teddy bear too. By the way.
For sure.
hey,
Sorry,
on that note,
I'm sorry.
on that note, the block is hot. We got it blazing, this on fire, and we out.
Love y'all.
Peace.
All right, peace.